In a world where the news is drama, and to be honest with you, maybe it's more like theater, like the DNC hiring an ABC producer to handle a debate. You know, life is giving us many twists and turns. And as we are in Jewish Heritage Month,
Here's a new one.
I know. Something, I mean, you have Black Heritage Month in March, Jewish Heritage Month in May. Are we the M&Ms? I'm not sure. But what I really don't understand is finding manuals on how to disrupt and cause mass hysteria on college campuses. Remember, a guide, a how-to book that someone has written. Could it be George Soros' clan? Could it be the Rothschild clan? Could it be some Iman? Who is behind the tents that all match? The almost uniform-like distribution list of what to and how to. David, I don't know about you, but this shit stinks. Welcome, everybody. This is the Rant Network, a podcast hosted by that guy next to me with glasses. Well, his are black, mine are gold. David Solomon. My name is Stuart Brisgell. As we peel back layers on a multitude of topics, including exposing anarchist organizations. Here, it's all about raw, unfiltered dialogue that serves as a maybe video or audio blog. It's an outlet to voice opinions, exchange ideas, and share experiences from literally every corner of the cesspool that we can find. We're going to dive into this current event as well as many other pop culture, politics, and quirks of existence. Whether it's venting over daily life's frustrations or tackling some really big questions that shape the world today. Everything is like this is covered under the Rant Network umbrella. I know David likes my umbrella, but if you notice, all of those university clowns were popping umbrellas in police faces. Maybe like Get Smart, you know? Literally, the show Get Smart, where they had an umbrella. Or how about James Bond, Dr. No? The umbrella was a gun. What is driving the insanity and literally the coordinated attack on the academic platform throughout the world is absolutely mind-boggling. And the lack of fortitude of politicians on the university campus and are those that are city mayors or governors. It's literally absenteeism at its best. David, you look like you want to say something.
Well, listen. Aside from the fact that I have blue glasses, look at here's the crazy thing, folks. And if you've been paying attention, and you know, one of the key accusations Stuart and I get constantly, we're so one-sided. We don't even look at what the other side does. We don't pay attention, folks. I got to tell you, I consume a ton of media. And to prepare for these rants, it's not just some randomness that we just throw caution into the wind. Literally, I read stuff from MSNBC, NBC, CNN, you name it. I draw the line at Al Jazeera because I can't deal with the excessive lies. But what is mind-boggling is what this media has focused on. And if you have Apple News, by the way, they're no better. And if you have Google, they're no better. Because do the searches, do even an AI search on ChatGPT. You're going to find that it's as if the only story that matters to the media, drumroll please, Donald Trump's trial. The only thing that matters is this fake, made-up trial. Now, when I say fake and made up, I don't mean me telling you this. These are lawyers, judges, DAs, from who are nonpartisan to partisan. And by the way, partisan including the Democrats, who said, this doesn't hold water. This will be thrown out in the Supreme Court. This is anything to do to keep Donald Trump from campaigning and to hurt his war chest, all in the name of making sure that Joe Biden is elected. In the meantime, you have a border crisis that seemingly has gone quiet now. I don't know, no border crisis anymore. I mean, fentanyl's not coming into the United States. There are no criminals. There's no murders. I guess not. And the most recent thing is the encampments that Stuart was talking about. These campus encampments that we took the whole week last week to talk about it. And what's fascinating, Stuart, is how many more stories are coming out of these encampments. Did anybody question why all the green tents look the same? Did anybody wonder why all of a sudden there was this incredible groundswell of encampments? Do you think that was by accident? Well, Politico does. Politico says, oh my God, what do you mean they've been funded? There's no way they've been funded. And they're shocked that, that there's George Soros and other organizations like the Students for Justice for Palestine, which is an absolute ironic name for an organization. All that they have done, all these anarchists have done, is create problems that they started 6 months ago. November of 2023, they started planning these. So did they know that the war was going to continue till May? Did they know any of this stuff? They've been planning and properly structuring, and it was found in Colombia. And folks, the fact that they found guns, knives, mace, you name it. Is this what you bring to a protest? Is this what you're supposed to have at a protest?
Nope.
Now, here's the other thing.
It depends. Is your definition of a protest a Colombian necktie?
Well, hello.
Let's be honest. In Colombia, they were freedom fighters. Do you not see the commonality between the culturing of creating freedom fighters in the United States from what? Themselves.
You see, Stuart, the problem is that the media has placed them as pro-Palestinian. And even the name is completely flawed because they're not pro-Palestinian. What these encampments are anarchists and disruptors, and call them from what they are. But did they comment about the fact that the students disrupted the commencement at University of Michigan? Nope.
No.
Are these media commenting about that and starting to see more and more commencements canceled? I mean, I just got right now an email from my son's university where he's graduating this week, and they're saying, folks, we have to revise due to these disruptions. The media is only focused on one thing: get Joe Biden reelected. We've got to make Joe Biden look like the best guy possible. We've got to make sure that Trump never gets into office, that this 81-year-old kookball that we can control is in the White House. And I called him one of Jim Henson's Muppets last week and got flack from Democratic friends because that's exactly what he is. He's a Muppet. And
he's Genocide Joe. He's a new cartoon character. Genocide Joe. And you know what? That name is going to stick just like Black Brandon.
Well, you know what? Yesterday, I got to tell you, Stuart, the problem is that the media isn't focusing on the real issues. And what's sad is that you and I, when we first started this rant, we started exposing stuff and we're not media guys. But we did our homework and we found, why isn't the media covering? And Stuart brought it up really well years ago when Russia basically declared war on the world.
Yep.
And nobody paid attention. And then weeks later, it started to come out in the media going, I wonder if that's really what happened. So what is the media their real agenda, Stuart? What is it?
But the real agenda is as followed: to destabilize the United States and destroy the four walls that hold it together. And the purpose is, and again, communism has its naked face in this, but more importantly, I'm going to tell you something that you may not be so surprising. The imams have been playing a long game for 1,000 years. Today, the Muslim population represents almost 25% of the world population. There's a video circulating about what a woman from India looked like 25 years ago and what she looks like today. And they went through every single Muslim caliphate country. And I got to tell you, you should Google it. You should see what an Iranian woman looks like, an Indian woman looks
I
like,
did, Stuart.
a woman from Beirut.
I've seen that social. I've seen that on social media.
Yeah,
And
and you
you know
want to know
what?
something?
This is
You're asking me what is the end game, David? They want to
no. I'm asking the media.
destroy the.
No, 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 no. I'm asking. No, I know. We know what we know what they want. I'm asking you what the media wants. And the media, what I see, the media wants is to control. It's they're the power. They this power base. They still believe that they can control. And it's fascinating how they are. What are they controlling you to? This leftist socialist thinking that doesn't work in Venezuela, that doesn't work in other countries. And you know what the crazy thing is, Stuart? They think that this is the best method, but you're one step away from communism. And you know what communism is? Authoritarian rule, loss of rights. And so if you want to go down that road, go do it somewhere else.
I got an idea that for us to possibly try, David. I think we should start advertising what television producers look like when they put on the wrong broadcast in China, Iran, or Iraq. And to show them, you know, the cranes that they have throughout all of these countries. You're familiar with the crane? The crane isn't to lift equipment onto a roof, it's to take the neck and wrap a rope around it and hang it in the city center so all could see what someone that goes against what they want happens. And you want to know something, David? I think maybe our broadcast should start with a picture of that.
I think that
This is the producers, the owner of the broadcast network's future. Because that's really what it is. The reporter, what reporter? There is no such thing as a reporter. That the media is dead.
But Stuart, the thing is that well, we talk about China, and you want to talk about other places. It's incredible to see that ABC, CBS, NBC, CNN, all those what they want. They want. I mean, and it's fascinating because they bring these talking heads onto their shows who consistently talk about stuff, and I'm just blown away how you will talk about Donald Trump and what he said about Charlottesville, and yet Joe Biden. Oh no, he said something similar. No, it's fine. Or, we're talking about anti Semitism on campus. Yeah, but there's Islamophobia. Oh, okay.
Oh no! Oh no! 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 I like the most recent one. You know, the politicians are now saying, "I denounce all
All, all,
anti-Semitism and
all
any
forms of
other
discrimination.
form of hate."
All forms of discrimination. And you know what? I'm sorry to tell you this, but I watched a Richie Torrens interview over the weekend and I thought he was bang on. He's the only one who's calling it as it is on the Democratic Party, really, where he's like embarrassed by the squad. He's embarrassed by Democrats who are Jewish, and I'll say it like that because they're, God forbid, they be Jewish first, but they're Democrats who are Jewish who wouldn't vote for the bill, an anti Semitism bill. All that they care about is their own political ass, their own lives. And the media is this, it's a complicity of the media and of these politicians. They're trying to drive us so deep into the ground. We are in such trouble letting them go, letting them get away with this. And by the way, this is not just in the United States. This is happening in Canada too. Okay, we're getting our conservative. The conservatives have been standing steadfast with the Jewish community since October the 7th. Didn't waver, and almost unanimously. But Stuart, there's a very funny thing, and I gotta. I'll end with this. Pierre Poilievre, who's the opposition leader here, he's the conservative head of the Conservative Party of Canada. They came up with a term, okay? Common sense conservatives. Common sense. And I want to ask that question of Democrats today. What's your common sense? Media. What's your common sense? Because it isn't common sense anymore. You completely lost and you're detached from what real people are afraid of and need. And if you want to continue pushing your agenda, it's a recipe for failure.
David, I think that was a very good way to come up with my next line. And that's our wrap for today's episode. A huge thanks for lending us your ears, your eyes, and your patience and spending this quality time with us at the Rant Network. It's been a real pleasure sharing these thoughts and many others in this discussion with just you. Your support means the world to us. We're excited to welcome you back for another engaging, insightful discussion. Remember, we're here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, noon Eastern for well over 3 years. Believe it or not, David and I are still sitting in these chairs. Stay connected with us on social media. Catch us on your local podcast channel. And if you have any invaluable question, float it to us. And even if you think it's just a hi, we appreciate and love all of them. You don't have to agree with us. We're still friends with you. We still love you. That's all, guys. Thanks for joining. Until next time we rendezvous. David, time to say sayonara.
Folks, and what we didn't talk about, what we're talking about today, I'm sorry, one thing we didn't mention. Today's Holocaust Memorial Day. And we wish all those who are survivors long life of peace. And may we finally see the end of this hate in our lifetime.
Can I just say one more thing, David? Never again begins